Welcome back to the Astro Room, your very own portal to the cosmos, and we have another Seestar firmware update. And there are actually about 10 new features that have been upgraded for this pretty decent update. But I think one of them in particular is absolutely crucial to have. And that's definitely going to be my favorite one. I'll let you know what that is because I'm sure everybody was really happy to see this on here. And make sure that if you want me to continue making more content like this, you hit the like button and you subscribe if you haven't already. And before we get into this, check this out. The Astro Log is your ultimate astronomy session planner and logbook. It's available for Windows, for Mac, for your phone, for your tablets. The point is to have consistent documentation so every session doesn't start from scratch. Know what worked and what didn't. You can have a structured framework to capture every single object and track your progress. It's fully customizable as well. Dramatically improve and accelerate the workflow of your astro imaging. You can search your sessions by target, by date, by scope. Add your astrophotography images as well. It has a built-in calendar. It even has a Messier checklist to track your catalog progress. You can log your sky conditions, your configurations, your post-processing settings. There's a dedicated moon calendar and monthly suggested objects to image. It syncs across desktop, Mac, and Windows, your tablet, web browser if you don't want to use an app, for instance, and it even works offline. If you prefer an actual physical book that you can write in, that one is available as well, so you can get this in digital or as in physical book. It's your permanent astronomical archive. Start logging your sessions tonight. It's ready for you. Check out the link below in the description if you want to see more. All right, so for this first one, this is in particular for the S30 Pro, which is where it now supports simultaneous Milky Way capture during your stargazing. We should be able to use both the telephoto lens and the wide angle one to capture both your deep sky object and also capture your wide field night sky, be able to capture your Milky Way. Can't try this right now because I don't have a good view of the Milky Way in my Bortle 8 skies, but perhaps we can still try to see how this feature works in my next live stream. So make sure you keep it tuned here where I try to test this feature in raw and real time. You can sign up to my Discord or follow me on social media. There's links below so you can find out in advance before I go live. So now for our next feature, we have a batch export in the album. And not just that, but we can actually choose what kind of file format we would like. So let me show you how to get to that. You're going to click on My Album. You're going to click on Seestar on the top. And for example, under Stargazing, let's say you have several shots of this particular deep space object. This is Orion, for instance. I can actually check all of them or however many I need. And if I click on the down arrow here, we can select the download format. Do I want a JPEG file? Do I want a FIT? JPEG plus FIT. It's then added to the download list as it mentioned there, but you'll actually find this in your, let's say, photo folder or on your device. You'll see it in your photo album. Okay, so I think this next one is pretty important. One tap device restart. Now, the reason why this one is awesome is because when your Seestar feels like it's stuck, when the app or your scope feels like it's not doing anything, the connection gets weird or tracking seems glued or something after a session, you can now restart it with one tap, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so you're going to click on me right here at the bottom where you see my cursor, my mouse cursor, and then if you scroll down right here, you'll see the new button now, slide to restart. Something also that I noticed that they didn't mention was part of the new update, but I just found it. I thought it was kind of hidden, but when you click on this cogwheel on the top, the assistant voice, I never have the Seestar assistant, the star, the voice that talks. I'm not a fan of it. But if you do like listening to that, or you like the tips that it gives as it's capturing, as it's slewing to an object, you can now change the voice. A man to talk, or I think the regular one that talks might be this one, the lively girl. But I thought it was cool that you have now two different options. Okay, so now in Milky Way mode, we have ground freeze duration setting. Once you open up your Milky Way mode, you're gonna click on the three little dots that are here on the top right, and then you'll see it here. It's already there, freeze ground duration. You can do it from 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes. It says it'll improve your foreground clarity. And as it mentions here, something to keep in mind, if you decide to use this feature, it's going to delay the start of your sky imaging, but it says it can produce better results. And the whole point of that is to keep your foreground sharp during tracking. The HDR image for high dynamic range is for your sun and moon. It's for solar system mode, basically, and scenery modes. And you can find that under your solar system setting, let's say your moon. When you click on the 3 dots up there, it's going to say HDR. You can toggle that on. It will preserve more detail. Increases telephoto dynamic range. The shadows will look clearer, your highlights stay controlled. It's going to create a more natural look. I can't wait to try this on a live stream. Okay, this new one with the light pollution filter switch can now be on auto. I do like this because sometimes I'm capturing an object that needed the light pollution filter to be on. And well, I realized I forgot to turn it on and it's been stacking for like 5 or 10 minutes. So the way to get into that is that once you're in your stargazing, you're gonna click on the 3 dots up there. And it's already there. It says auto light pollution filter, but you have to turn it manually on. And it says it's going to be automatically now turned on based on the light pollution filter indicator in the object database. So depending on the object that you choose, like a nebula, for instance, if it requires your light pollution filter, it will always have your filter on during your session. That's great. Okay, we're now on number 7 of the upgraded features. And this is, for me personally, and probably for a lot of you too, the absolute favorite one. Let me know in the comments what you think, by the way. What is your favorite feature on here? Is it going to be this one, the automatic aircraft trail removal? Or is there anything else that you have preferred with this new update? I will definitely be testing this on my live stream. I have terrible skies right now. I can't test anything. It's super cloudy out here. Now, what I want to know about this trail removal that will be used during stargazing mode is, does it only eliminate, like it says there, aircraft? Is that also including not just planes, but satellites? I'm assuming and I hope that it does remove satellite trails as well. If you're already using it and you've had clear skies, you've been able to test this feature, let me know in the comments. So now basically there's an algorithm in the app or in the software that can, like it says there, intelligently detect and remove the trails during your real-time stacking. It's going to be right there at the top 3 dots and you're going to just want to leave it on right here, aircraft line eliminating. These images that contain the aircraft trails will be automatically excluded from your stacking. This may reduce the stacking success rate. We'll just have to try it, or like I said, if you've tried it already and it's working great for you, or if it's not, let me know in the comments below. Okay, I do like this next new feature as well. Toggle the location watermark. And that's gonna be right there when you hit the me at the bottom where the cursor is. It'll say image watermark, but you can now turn off the location. So your coordinates are no longer going to be displayed. Okay, and so now for one of the last ones here, it's now you can easily transfer devices remotely. So under your telescope network, you're gonna click on that. Click on your remote device that you want to transfer. I think this is specifically for people who have their devices at remote observatories. You're gonna click on device transfer. When you click on next, it's going to send an email with a verification code. Now, something also very nice in stargazing now that we have is that the DBE, or the dynamic background extraction, has been upgraded. I will also be trying that the next time that I'm imaging, or even in the live streams. I would like to see how this has gotten better. We know that a lot of us do wish and really want for some more improvements, like in not just this, but also the AI denoise, especially when comparing it to other smart telescopes where their AI denoise features are just so good and so clean. So I hope that ZWO continues to improve this device, not just the S30 Pro, but all these updates should be, I think, for also the S50, those who have the S30s as well. And a lot of us honestly have all of these scopes already. We have all of them, and we want these devices to all be running all the updates and not just specific to one of them, but for all of them. So ZWO, if you're listening, thanks for these updates. We hope that you continue giving us some more awesome updates. Stay tuned here for the next video or live stream.